All right, so let's get started. So this week we're starting a new project. I'm going to start working actually on a video, and the video is a little more casual. It's not really a tutorial video. It's not really, based around a specific concept. In fact, it's actually about concept development, I guess if you wanted to assign it a topic. But basically, I found one of the artists I follow on Instagram made a post a while back. I was looking at their piece, and they did something that they called a reference challenge, where they selected a bunch of different reference images and designed a character based off of those reference images. So instead of having a concept, having an idea, and finding reference images that best fit that idea, this is taking reference images and creating an idea based off of those images. So I'm actually going to be working on this project with Claire. So what we're going to do is today I'm going to start with these 6 reference images, 3 of which I picked and 3 of which Claire picked. And I'm going to start with a sketch, and we're going to work on it throughout the week and design a character and fully render a character based off of these 6 images and a theme that we picked the images based off of, which was adventure. And we found these 6 images that kind of could fit into the theme of adventure, and we're going to base a character around these images and that theme. Drop my pen. Claire picked out this image. Oh, that's a really big brush. This image, this image, and this image. Claire, what is this bird called again? This is a Lady Amherst's pheasant. This is a sundial. And this is, do you remember what this fish thing is? Well, that's a fish thing. And then I picked out these 3 images. This is a snub-nosed monkey. This is a suitcase from the 1930s. And this is a statue in China of Guan Yi, I believe is the name of this god, which is the ancient Chinese god of war. And this is actually a contemporary statue. It was finished construction in 2016. So I thought not only it would be a good idea for a reference in terms of material and texture, but also actually how the light is falling on it and how they actually managed to capture movement in what feels like a very firm, steady, solid form. I mean, this is a sculpture. I think it's made out of bronze. And it's amazing that they have all that movement, all the implication of cloak and wind. And I think it looks really cool. So I'm going to figure out some way to incorporate that as well. All right, so I'm just going to start sketching. As far as so again, this is a challenge that I've seen other artists do. There's not really like a set of rules for how you're supposed to go about doing it. Really, the only thing I want to do is be able to have all 6 of these reference images show through in my final design, or our final design, because like I said, Claire is also going to be working on this character as well, in one way or another. I'm going to start with the snub-nosed monkey. And I'm going to look at his anatomy a little bit to get an idea for the shape of this character. Use this fish plate as part of its silhouette here and put something on its back that has a similar shape to this plate. Of course, when I started looking at monkeys and then statues of ancient Chinese deities, the first thing that I started thinking about was Journey to the West and Wukong and that whole story. And it fits with our theme of adventure. And I'm actually thinking now, Wukong is often pictured with, he's got the crown is important to the story because that's how he's controlled. But then there's also, he usually has these 2 big pheasant feathers coming out of the top of his crown. And I think I might want to incorporate something like that. I really, really love how fabric and movement in general is created in this sculpture, because it's so many hard lines and edges, and yet there's still that fluidity that moving cloaks and fabrics would have. After I have a design, I might want to actually change the pose that I have and maybe base it more off of the actual pose that the monkey is doing in this image that I have. Because I have this really energetic monkey here. I think I'm actually going to do that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to minimize these guys. I'm going to take this guy over to the corner here because I like the direction I'm heading in with this. I want to keep it, but I want to have a little bit more energy with the piece overall, and I have right here a fantastic reference image for an energetic monkey pose. And instead I just have him standing here like a fool. And let's see if I can't get this energetic monkey pose. So this is where I have it for now. Like I said, this is a group project between me and Claire. So she's going to pick this project up tomorrow night, and she's going to add her designs and input to the character, what she wants to add to the sketch, and then maybe she'll start some color rendering. I don't know. But this is going to be our starting point, and we'll move forward from here.
Okay, hello guys. So today we're going to be picking up where Jack left off with Monkey. I'm trying to take it in right now. So it looks, oh, there's a lot going on. I'm getting kind of the vibes of a weary monkey spirit traveler looking at this fella right now. He seems a little weighed down though. And I think what I want to do is make him a little more fantastical, spirit-y feeling. The other hurdle that we have to overcome here is I'm using Photoshop, and as you guys could tell, Jack was working in Procreate. And sometimes there can be some funny things that happen when you take a Procreate PSD into Photoshop. Oh yeah, it's a little slow. I don't really know why that's happening. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to continue working on Monkey and try to incorporate all 6 of these reference images. this. All right, I'm gonna start putting color in because I need to make some other design decisions at this point, I think. Start under the sketch, I guess, and then work my way backward. I don't know if he's too dummy thick. We can definitely get him to a point where he's appropriately thick. You know, there's a correct amount of dummy. But for now, I think I'm gonna have to wrap up actually, because it's 6 o'clock and I need to pass this guy back to Jack for tomorrow's stream.
What's up, everybody? How we doing tonight? I think at this point, I'm actually going to start getting into the actual nitty-gritty detail rendering on this character. Claire actually changed quite a bit. Well, she changed a lot, not quite a bit. She actually added in a staff, because before I just had a stick with nothing on it. She added like a cool head to it that I like. She changed up the mask a little bit, made it kind of a little Legend of Zelda-y, a little Miyazaki, Studio Ghibli kind of. And then she added in some colors, which is great because laying down base colors is usually trouble for me. So before I go into the nitty-gritty color rendering, a few things I want to change. I just want to make this stick touch the ground. And then Claire has a habit of using black for her dark colors. So I think for her dark values, I think I'm just going to add a little bit of red and a little bit of blue, maybe a little bit more red, little yellow, a little bit more red, and just give us a little bit more color to work from here. You need your daily dose of intricate line work. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of intricate line work in this. Working from where Claire has, I think I'm going to actually try painting a little bit. And I'm going to use my reference images to do so. So starting with this mask here. This mask is obviously the most tempting place to start. No, you know what? That's where I want to start. I'm going to force myself to start somewhere where I don't want to start. I'm going to start on the arms and do some fur rendering. Understanding light is one of the hardest things to do, and understanding how light works on different, materials like fur or metal or blood. It's like that's one of the things where just like the more you draw and the more consistently you draw, everything you look at, you'll study. Like, light, especially light and color, like anytime I look at anything that's got light casted on it now, I think like, okay, how is that working? Let me remember this so the next time I draw I can think, okay, I remember watching the way my desk lamp hit the sheen of the side of my microphone. I can apply that later on. That is some good progress on this. Our goal is to have this done by the end of Friday. And I think that's looking very possible right now.
So it looks like what's happened to this picture since the last time I worked on it is that, one, it's become a lot more purple. It's very in sort of a magenta realm right now. And then also this fur is so rendered. Okay, I think what I'm going to do first is just get rid of some stiffness here. Think of Jack's painting. I'm actually really impressed by how realistically and vibrantly the lighting was handled. Now I'm kind of afraid I'm going to lose some of this vibrancy as I'm going into other areas. What I really need to not do, actually, is focus on the arms any more than he's already done, because there is so much that we need to get done if we want to finish this for tomorrow. Do I recommend any Photoshop brushes that are good for texturing fur? I don't really. I can give you some advice on handling fur. It looks like Jack probably used some of the oil paintbrush in Procreate here. It looks like it's blending slightly. Really, to capture fur well in any medium, even like traditional versus digital, whatever, you don't really need to think about using a brush that's going to give you the texture first, which might sound a little confusing, but all any painting is capturing how light is laying on a surface. So when you're looking at something like fur, you just need to be able to define the shapes. Like the highlight is here, and because it's like silky fur, it's probably going to be a little soft. So this is the default Photoshop brush, like 2 colors, there's the highlight, and smoothing it out. And like that's enough to say, okay, there's a tuft of fur here, because it's on top of these other darker colors. So you really don't need to ever worry about finding a specific brush to do a certain job, because it's really just like stylizing how you're painting light, no matter what it is that you're actually handling. We made some progress. Definitely might have to do some polish after our 1 week streaming period is over, but it's pretty cool so far.
This is the last day of our reference drawing challenge, and it is it's pretty cool to see how it's developed over the past week and 4 hours of work that both me and Claire put into it. And hopefully tonight we can take it somewhere where it's more or less done. We're probably going to have to do some finalization off screen, some tweaks and stuff, but my goal for tonight is just to get it to a place where it looks more or less finished. It looks like Claire took care of most of the most intricate parts. Neither of us wants to touch that chest on the back. This little chest he has strapped there, but I'll tackle that tonight. It's mostly in shadow, so I can leave it more or less dark. And yeah, let's get into it. Alright, we're making progress here. We got the suitcase. Doesn't have as much detail in it as some other parts of this. But that's okay, because like I said, it's mostly in shadow. And we want to be able to get this actually done. Claire has those masks done. I probably won't touch those anymore. Maybe mess with the fishy a little bit more. Alright, so we're almost done with Monkey. We're pretty close, and I'm really happy with the way it looks. But this is where we've ended up, and this was a really fun little experiment. A great way to sort of, loosen me up a little bit and feel like I can actually paint. I'm most proud about this arm, that I've actually painted fur texture with a brush using different brush tools, which is something I almost never do. And I'm proud of myself that I got myself to do that. And it was definitely cool working with Claire and working back and forth and blending our styles so that they both work together and they seem coherent and that it's the same, person working together. This is also the most dynamic I think I've ever gotten with colors in a character's design before, which is cool. Really a color scheme I would have never really used, with all of these different like purples and blues in with the oranges. So I'm really happy with this. Not 100% done yet, but pretty close. And like I said, we'll have that up on the YouTube channel for you guys to check out when it's fully done. fully finished, and it'll be all condensed with our process so you guys can see.